What is going on, guys? I hope all of you watching this video are doing well. I just want to say thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Now hopefully from watching this video you'll learn a few things that I've learned myself over the past few months. Now real quick, I'm just going to go into a little story about me last year. So around May last year I purchased a BMW 5 Series. If you've been a subscriber of the channel, you'll know this, you'll see my videos on it and whatnot. So I purchased a BMW 5 Series, £3,900 I paid, spent a couple of £1,000 on it. I decided to get rid of the car because it just wasn't right for me financially, you know. Something switched in my head and, you know, I just realized that, you know, the cost of potential repairs, you know, tires, insurance, which was the big thing for me, you know, just wasn't all worth it. Ultimately just to be driving a slightly nicer car around. So I decided to just get rid of that car, and I thought to myself, you know, I'm just gonna buy the cheapest, you know, crappiest car that I can find, which is the cheapest insurance and cheapest tax, the cheapest car to run, cheapest car to maintain, you know, cost of parts and whatever. And you know, a car that will get me from A to B essentially. Because here's how I see it: I either go all in, i.e. I buy the best, but for the best, you know, deal, or I buy, you know, the cheapest thing that's gonna benefit me in terms of saving me money in the long run. So yeah, so I went from BMW 5 Series to a Vauxhall Corsa, 2006 Vauxhall Corsa 1.3 CDTI. So it's a diesel, so it's very economical. It's very cheap tax. I think I paid like £950 for it. It's very, very cheap for parts. I'll just give an example, like to buy like a new headlight or tail light on this car, you're looking at like £10 or £15, honestly, like for a second-hand part. On a BMW, to replace a headlight, you was looking at like £150. So a massive difference there, you know, on parts, on the cost of parts. So yeah, so essentially I wanted to buy a car that was as cheap as possible because I wanted to get my monthly expenses right down. Now, you know, at the start of this year, about 2 or 3 months ago now, me and my girlfriend started saving for a house, and we wanted to literally just chuck as much money into the pot for this house because we were going to be saving for a good 3 or 4 years, and we want to have a very, very large deposit. We don't want to be, you know, taking the minimum deposit down and then having a very large mortgage. We want to be having the biggest deposit as possible, and then we want to have a, you know, a small mortgage, and then we can pay that off early. But that's all for another video. You know, that side of things, you know, mortgages and all that stuff. So yeah, I basically thought, you know, what is going to be the best car for me to keep my monthly expenses low, and it's going to allow me to have as much spare cash to save towards this house. And, you know, I thought this, you know, this is the car for me, really. Now take someone on the other hand who has a, you know, brand new car on finance, on a lease, whatever it may be, and is paying £300–400 a month. Now they still have to pay all the other expenses. They still have to pay for fuel, you know, tax, insurance, which insurance, if you're buying a brand new car, is potentially higher because the value of the car is higher, therefore the premium is generally higher. So they still have to pay for all them other expenses, but then they have to pay this £300–400 you know, monthly expense, you know, for basically you're buying the car, or, you know, you're renting the car, i.e. leasing the car. So but essentially you are going to be taking £300 or £400 every single month for the next 3 or 4 or 5 years, however long you have this car for, out of your monthly income. like every month. Like imagine, you have to think about it like this. Imagine taking a £300 or £400 pay cut for the next 3 or 4 years. Like imagine if your employer told you that. Like how mad would you be? You would, you know, that's massive. You know, if you own a car outright, obviously you don't have that monthly expense, which I believe that's what you should do. I believe that you should buy a car cash. If you can't do so, then you can't afford the car, in my opinion. Now, I have plenty of friends who have cars on leases, you know, finance, you know, they have car loans or whatever. Now, you know, I don't judge them. That everyone, you know, anyone can do what they want to do at the end of the day, but you just have to realize that if you have a monthly car payment, you essentially have a lower income. You have less cash to play with each month. So if you're saving for a house, you're gonna have less money to put towards that house. Now, like I said, my goal was to get my monthly expenses as low as possible. Now, my monthly expenses are so low right now. Honestly, like you wouldn't believe how low my monthly expenses are. Now, that is exactly the position that I wanted to get myself into. You know, obviously for, you know, to throw as much money at the house essentially, but as you know, me personally, I love to travel as well, so I would still want to be able to travel while putting all this cash towards a house. You know, so it's I've now put myself into a position where I can actually do that. Okay, so I've just mentioned that if, you know, you have a car payment each month, that the £400, whatever it is coming out of your wages each month. So essentially your income is lower. Now, take this into consideration as well. Imagine you have this debt of, you know, this car payment each month. Imagine you lose your job all of a sudden, because let's be honest, in, you know, 2018, that is a great possibility. Anyone could lose their job. No job. If you're even if you're self-employed, there is no guarantee that the income you earn, you know, is going to be, you know, you're going to get it every month. So, you know, what about if you had this liability, this debt, and you just lost your job? Your income is going to go from whatever it is, whether it's 20, 30, 40 grand a year, to zero. But you still have to make this monthly payment, right? So essentially, your risk is higher. Now, me personally, I would never want to be in that position where if I lost my job, like, I would be screwed, because imagine that. Imagine you have this debt of this monthly car payment and then you lose your job. Like that, for me, that's a massive thing to consider when thinking about, you know, making a purchase. Like me now, I choose not to have any debt at all. Now, when you're buying a house, you have a mortgage. Yes, that's debt. I'm not talking about a mortgage. I'm talking about, you know, domestic, you know, things. You know, I would never buy something in a catalogue. I would never buy something on a payment plan. I'd never buy something on finance, because you're basically taking that amount of money, the monthly payment, out of your income. You're essentially making your income smaller. And if you lose your job, you still have to make those payments, or you get into a lot of trouble. So I guess that's the biggest point that I want to make. You know, you have to think about it. If you want to have this car payment each month, you have to realize that your income essentially is going to be smaller. It just is. Now, a good rule of thumb is not to spend any more than half of your annual income on a vehicle. So if you earn £40,000 per year, do not spend any more than £20,000 on a car. Now, I personally wouldn't even go this high. That's just what Dave Ramsey, I don't know for any of you guys that are aware of Dave Ramsey, the Dave Ramsey Show is a guy who lives in America. He has his own YouTube channel and radio station and whatever. Now, that's what he recommends. Like, I would recommend not spending any more than like a third of your income on a car, because let's be honest, a car is the biggest thing that you'll probably buy that's going to go down in value. They say that you lose, I think it's like 50 or you lose like 50 or 60% of a car's value in the first 4 years of owning it. So to me, that says do not buy a car that's newer than, you know, 4 years. Like, buy a car that's older than 4 years, because, you know, that's where you're going to be losing the most value. So essentially, if you buy a car for £20,000, right, over 4 years, it's probably only going to be worth £10,000. So essentially, you're throwing away £2,500 each year for 4 years. That's right. So, you know, you want to be spending money on things going up in value, i.e. houses, you know, investments, things like that, stocks and shares. Not spending all of your money on brand new cars, because cars go down in value, and if you're having a monthly payment plan, whatever you're doing, then it's just coming out of your income each month. It's just not a good idea. Now, I'm talking from my experience. Obviously, any of you guys watching, you know, you feel free to do whatever you choose. But if you take one thing away from this video, hopefully it's that you consider not buying a brand new car, because there's just too much risk. There's too much risk. You're giving away your income to whoever each month for X amount of time, and yeah, what about if you lose your job? That's it. That's all I really have to say. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a like, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you in that next one. Peace.